Hey everybody, I didn't think this far, which is awful because this is the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely no prepared remarks.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
We've got good news and we've got bad news. But then we've got some more good news.
Yeah, so it's a sandwich.
It's a good news sandwich or a bad news sandwich. Is a sandwich
I think
what's on the outside or in the middle?
I think in the middle.
Yeah, you don't say like, I'm going to have a rye sandwich. That tells me nothing about what you're getting.
It's a bad news sandwich on good news.
Yeah, there
on
we go.
good news bread. So first good news is we have a whole mess of new cast members coming in here.
Yeah, I know a handful of you on the Discord know about this, and some of you have met some of them as well. Over the course of the next week or so, we're going to be giving you so much information about new content that we have coming out, but I'll chat more about that in a minute.
Damn, that's a tasty piece of bread.
Right? That's good bread.
Is this how you eat a sandwich?
Yeah, top down.
Okay, and then the bad news feeling is that we have all these new cast members because by the end of the year, Jake and I are going to be leaving.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Damn, that's nasty meat.
And behind the scenes, we had a long talk, Tass and I, about do we want to try to do this without them because, I mean,
Yeah.
it's devastating.
I mean, my God.
Yeah. To say that we love them and we'll miss them doesn't even begin to cover it.
Not even close.
But we decided we did want to try, and we ended up doing the auditions, as I said, and they were local, and we ended up casting 5 people out of about 24 auditions. And many of them were people that had, in some way, shape, or form, a connection to someone at the table. So we think we'll be able to keep this energy of people who know each other, people who care for each other, telling stories that they enjoy. So we were very, I would say, nervous, trepidatious, but we're actually really excited now.
Yeah.
So we'll have more information about that in the coming weeks. All that aside, I feel like I'm missing a good bread still.
I need that good bottom bread.
Yeah, the good bottom bread is that we both got teaching jobs. No, the good bottom bread is that we're having a baby.
A little baby.
Which naturally is going to demand a tremendous amount of our time and would probably greatly hinder our ability to contribute constructively to the Critshow.
Listen, not pregnant. I barely have energy to do anything anymore. And so now it's like, oh, yeah.
And so that is not to say that you'll never hear from them again.
I throw my hat down in the dirt and step on it. You'll never see me again.
Because we do have some stories that we want to tell. We'll find out in the future if we find the time and the way to make those work. But I do want to assure everyone listening that we knew this far in advance. And so we have been building. So Clockwinders will not just end. It will have a arced conclusion before we move on to something else.
Yeah, and who knows? There may be more of it at some point in the future. From my understanding, around 18 years later on a baby, like maybe you get some time back and you can do things again. So maybe 18 years from now, give or take, once we're all living in future pods and the baby's a robot or whatever.
So I suppose with this announcement, obviously this is a lot, but let's end with a second, technically a third piece of good bread.
We're doing triple bread?
Yeah, triple bread. Wait,
Does
a
that
Big
mean
Mac?
we need more bad news?
Yeah, we need one small piece of bad news.
I just opened my water bottle and the water splooshed out and spilled on my pants.
Perfect. So then the third piece of good news bread is we're going to leave you today with a couple of interviews from our new cast members. Enjoy. We're joined this afternoon by Amanda. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So now I know that we have Amanda as an option, but you also said
Manda.
Manda.
Not Mandy.
But not Mandy.
Not Mandy.
Okay, so Amanda, not Mandy.
Not Mandy.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Amanda, as you just heard. I am a youngin'. I've graduated from college last year, and currently I work at the Indiana Repertory Theater as a production assistant. I'm a big-time nerd from the small town cornfields of Indiana.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
I'm kind of from like the middle of nowhere. Imagine like 2 stoplights, graduating class of 49 students.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so really, really small. And then
Okay.
came up to Indy to do college, and then now I'm here.
We did these auditions, and we were very fortunate with the number of people we had turn out for them because it was all local auditions. We had like 24 people apply, and we ended up doing further interviews with about a dozen and narrowed it down to the people we ended up casting. And Tass just kind of raided the IRT, it seems like.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. We're taking over.
Excellent. So how did you get into tabletop RPGs?
Well, I grew up, my older siblings are 8 and 10 years older than me, and they used to play Dungeons and Dragons all the time with their friends, so I would always like sit next to them and watch like a little gargoyle.
Yeah.
So I never got to play, but I would always watch. And then when like 2020 pandemic rolled around, my
Sure.
senior year of high school.
I almost just turned to dust when you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, rounded up my friends and I was like, I'm bored. I've listened to a lot of podcasts now. I think I have a pretty good handle of the rules of Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
and we're going to play a campaign. And I DM'd the first campaign. I had never read any rule books, nothing, just listened to a podcast, and I was like, this is fine, I got this.
That's amazing. So you didn't even play the first time, you ran.
Yeah, because I had a friend who had been a DM, and he was like, I'm too busy, I can't run it, but I'll play. And I was
Yeah.
like, sure, I can come up with something. So I ran a little campaign, and then I have been playing ever since. In college, my friends founded a tabletop role-playing game club that
Mhm.
had like over 100 members. And it was super fun. And we played Dungeons and Dragons as well as like other tabletop role-playing games. Like every week we would come in and play a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really fun. I've played a ton of campaigns since then, both as a player and as a DM.
So do you have, through all of these stories that you've played, do you have like a favorite critical success or critical failure moment?
So my friends from home, my friends who I've been friends with since I was like a little kid, we had a campaign that ran for about 5 years, which is ended now. But we had one big boss fight where we were fighting a vampire in a church. So I am the cleric of the team, and everyone else is down and dying. And it's just me and this vampire, and I'm like running out of spells. And the last thing I have, a last-ditch effort, I'm going to cast banishment on this guy. And he's like vampire, so he's got a high charisma. The DM's like, this is not going to work. And I was like, well, it's what I got. Because whatever I hit him with is not going to take him down enough. So I just need to like remove him from the playing field. So I cast banishment on him. I said, go to hell. And he rolled a nat 1, which is the only thing that could have made him fail it. So yeah, he went to hell.
Excellent. So what kind of hobbies do you have outside of gaming?
I'm a crafter, so I crochet.
Yeah.
I like knitting. I have 2 cats, so I really like hanging out with them. I also really love watching movies, television. Recently, I've been rewatching Haunting of Hill House because it's spooky season.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of just a crafty grandma person.
All right, so now I've got a couple of questions from our Discord, actually.
Okay, cool.
So if you could be dropped into any fictional world, book, video game, etc., where would you want to go?
It's a little basic, but I would probably say the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I really love the like modern fantasy angle of it, and also like all the other worlds I would choose are probably too scary for me personally.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really want to go into that. But this one, I'm like, I feel like I could deal with it because it's just like normal, like our world, but plus with magic.
Sure.
And I would like magic.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The other question from our Discord, in a completely different direction.
Okay.
Do you think there are more doors in the world or more wheels?
I think wheels.
Yeah.
Because there's like a ton of wheels. I've thought about this a lot, actually. This is a question I think. Like some doors have wheels.
Yeah.
Like on the bottom of things, and like they're on the chairs, they're on our cars. Like it's everywhere. And like if you have a rolling door, there's wheels underneath that. There's wheels on everything.
Yeah.
So I think, but also it gets into what do you classify as a door? Like, because then that gets a little hazy on how many doors there are in the world. But I think wheels.
Okay.
I think wheels.
You sound pretty confident, so I'm going to take that as gospel. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Amanda. I'm excited to see the kind of games we end up playing together.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So It's interesting because we had these auditions, and we were very fortunate in that a handful of the people that we had callbacks with were people that we knew.
Yeah.
Joe and I have history.
We do.
We got beef.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of this. I just want to confront you.
Yep, that's fair. Let's hear it.
So
yeah, tell us a bit about yourself, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am an Indy native. I've been in Indianapolis for the last 10 years. I'm a theater guy, improv guy. I've been doing theater since I was 12 years old. I've been doing improv since I was 16 years old. So it's just always kind of been a part of my life. I went to Indiana State University, which is where you and I met.
Yes.
Through the summer theater program that they had there. And then after that, kind of just bopped around, tried to find the city that I wanted to be in, and landed in Indy, and have been here since 2015 and got into the local theater here, local improv community here, and met my husband here, and created a really lovely community for myself.
Yeah.
And it's been lovely. It's been a lovely 10 years. Yeah.
And I actually ran into you for the first time in years.
Yes.
When you were doing a production at Indie Drag Theater.
Yes.
It was he was doing a production of, I'll let you tell us.
Yeah, no, it's a company in Indy that started, and if you're a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race at all, Blair St. Clair, who is the only queen from Indianapolis to be on the show, when she moved back, she started a drag theater where they do musicals. It's all lip sync. It's an all lip sync performance, and they will edit together like the sound from the movie of the musical or the stage version of the musical, like cast recording, and then they'll also layer in like other pulp culture jokes on top of it to create this really interesting air quotes script for the performers to lip sync through. And so we did a parody of Clue, the movie, and that was their first play or movie, whatever you want to call it.
And it seemed like it went over like gangbusters.
It was a sold out production, and it was just a really fun time. The audience loved it. It was confusing because my family and friends and theater friends would come and be like, "Oh, you don't talk." I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not talking the whole time. I'm not talking." So it was just really, really
yet,
cool.
It will seem like I am.
Yes, exactly. If I'm doing my job right. Yeah, so I got to play the Wadsworth Tim Curry role. And so it was just this really... And Clue has been a lifelong obsession. Like board game, movies, any kind of adaptation, any kind of crappy whatever. I'm like, oh, it's great.
Yeah. So how did you get into tabletop RPGs?
Yes, this goes to my friends. My friends are very much into it, much more than I am when it all started. We were a board game friend group first. Like I would like to say a step above the aisle at Target. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you have the games at Target, and then you have the games kind of above that level that you get.
You have to go to like a game store for.
Exactly. So we started dabbling in that because when we all were in Indy together, because we were all college friends, and then we all ended up in Indy, we obviously wanted to hang out all the time, but we didn't want to like watch TV. We didn't want to like drink so much. So we were just kind of figuring out of other things to do, and we landed on board games. And so that was kind of the introduction to it. And it was like Killer Bunnies and I call it Quacks of Quedlinburg. I don't even know if that's what it's called.
I don't know. I'm just now kind of getting into board games.
Correct me in the comments. I say Quedlinburg, but I think it's a joke because I'm thinking of Quaaludes. So apologies to
just
the creator.
Always thinking of them.
I just love Quaaludes. But anyway, so we started doing that, and then sort of kind of Dropout TV was also a big catalyst for it as well, because I'm a huge fan of Game Changer and Make Some Noise and the improv games that they have. And then they did Dungeons and Drag Queens. So the drag queen interest, and then so those four are incredible. And so I watched that. I was like, oh, you can be incredibly intelligent and funny and not be like a stereotype about it at all.
Sure.
It's just totally you and how you would respond. And it's like, oh, it's just improv.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just improv.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Then my friends got more into it, and they were wanting to like do campaigns. And ironically, I was like, I improv a lot in my everyday life, and to unwind, I just don't really think it's something I want to do. And then when this came along, they're like, fuck you. You said you didn't care. I'm like, well.
Okay, so along those same lines then, in the few that you've played, do you have any like favorite moments where something either critically failed or critically succeeded?
Yes, we did. It was like an underwater steampunk Atlantis hybrid world. The character I created was Jake Gully, like from Avatar, Jake Sully.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was like cloning in the world, and I was like, okay, I'll just do the Avatar brother storyline, as you do. You know how it's always on the top of your head.
Yeah.
And he was like obsessed and fangirling over another person in the party because like they were famous, and then their character was just like, yeah, you're annoying. And then we were being attacked, and I rolled a 20 and was able to like crush a whole ship, and then that changed that character's and our relationship because they were like, oh, well, you're actually impressive now. Okay, fine. So it was actually a fun like way to like have a conflict that then got resolved with a critical hit. Yeah.
What stuff do you like to do like outside of gaming, either board games or RPGs?
Yeah, I'm a huge movies and TV guy.
Mm.
I'm a big awards fan where I'll just try to predict all the winners and try to like get a perfect score and like really like listen to all of the prognosticators and try to do my own. But it's evolved with age, thank God, with just viewing it as much more of like a watch list. Just kind of like,
Oh, sure.
hey, whether I like it or not isn't really the point. I look at the best picture or best drama, best comedy nominees, and I just watch them.
Yeah.
And some things will be for me, some things won't be. And then I stumble upon things that I never would have watched otherwise that I'm obsessed with. So
Yeah.
I really love having that kind of open mind of like, tell me your story and we'll go from there. And if the elite are saying it's the best, then it helps me just sift through the 100,000 things you could possibly watch.
Sure.
Not saying they are definitively the best. It is just a simple, like, I view it as a watch list, which is nice.
It's interesting, too. That's the thing that was a kind of a cool, unexpected benefit from doing this show, because we jump around and we play so many different genres of games. It opened up the genres of movies that I watch, because so many of the tropes are homages to famous films. And so like a great example is space horror. Like it's not something I was ever interested in. Then we started playing a game. I was like, oh, I really like this game. And I looked at a lot of times indie RPGs will have in the back books and movies and TV shows that inspired this specific game. And so then I started watching things that way.
And that goes hand in hand with improv as well, because we always I teach it as well every so often, and we tell them being pop culturally savvy, knowing what's going on is so helpful.
Yeah.
With suggestions or just making random pulls and references. And I think it's the same with this, where it's like the more you know, the more areas or pools that you kind of know a little bit about, you can kind of fake it.
It's so hard too. Like as I'm getting older and we're continuing this thing that revolves so much around pop culture, part of the job is just being aware of like things that are coming up, movies, TV shows, language that has fallen out, language that is coming in. And sometimes I'll be talking to someone, I'm like, oh yeah, no, you don't say this anymore, they say that. And like, why do you know that? It's like, I don't want to talk about it.
I have to. I'm forced to. Yeah, no, exactly.
So then we've got some questions from our Patreon, actually.
Wonderful.
If you could be dropped into any fictional world, book, video game, etc., where would you want to go?
Honestly, the world of a Mario Party game.
Oh.
I want them to do a Mario Party movie, but it would take like 20 years to get there because you have to introduce all the characters and all that stuff.
Sure.
I am obsessed with Mario Party. It was like the first video game. I wasn't allowed electronics for a long time. So I was introduced to Mario Party through like a friend, and it was just so fun and colorful and silly and a board game, and like it's like my comfort happy place.
Yeah. It almost seems like it'd be a good TV show.
Yes.
Like each episode, if it was a half hour and it was one of the mini games.
100%. What was that cartoon, Wacky Racing or whatever?
Yeah,
like that.
Wacky Racers.
Just
Yeah.
there's every episode's a new game, and there's a new winner.
And then we got one more question from our Discord. Just in the total opposite direction. Do you think there are more doors or more wheels in the world?
I'm gonna go with wheels because of like cars and like Hot Wheels and stuff. Like I don't think the Hot Wheels doors open, but the wheels work. Like with semi-trucks, they have more wheels than doors. So I'm going to go with that.
Well, thank you for joining us, Joe.
Thank you so
much. I'm
much.
excited to tell some stories with you. All right, everybody. We will see you again next week after the credits to chat a little more with some of the new cast joining us. See you next time.